All right, so I was watching First Take. I had to do this video real quick, man, just so I could get it done and get it over with. They were talking about Ezekiel Elliott, and they were talking about his contract that he got and whether or not he lived up to the money that he was getting paid. Now, let's go down and let's look at his numbers, right? His rookie season, he had over 300 carries for 1,600 yards, 15 touchdowns, and he averaged 108 yards per game. Right? On 5.1 attempts. 5.1 yards per attempt. Right? And then his second year, he missed 6 games due to the inappropriate behavior thing where he pulled the girl's top off, which was bullshit. The girl apparently didn't have any issues with it. The NFL was more outraged by it than the girl was, so I didn't see a problem with that. But if you look at his numbers, he was on pace after his second season, he was on pace to drop consistently. His numbers were on pace to drop consistently. Just less and less and less and less and less. He's getting less carries. Less carries. But his yards per game were going down, right? Now, when you look at these numbers, it looked like he's just not producing. Year after year, it seems like his production is getting worse. That means he's not doing his job. But people don't look at, and this is what I hear about Zeke, but nobody talks about the fact that the offensive line injuries, sometimes the poor play of the offensive line, the circumstances surrounding his carries dropping, like when he gets the ball, if he gets the ball. When they drafted Pollard, it's things like that, contributing factors to why a player's numbers are dropping. And the most important contributing factor is the pass attempts by the quarterback. Are they going up or are they staying the same? Because if they're staying the same and his numbers are still just dropping, then it's him. But if the quarterback's attempts are going up, that means they're passing more. In certain situations where they were running the ball, they started passing the ball. So, take a look at this. Yards per attempt. 4 yards on any run is a good run. Anybody with common sense will tell you that. 4 yards is a good stat. On each attempt is a good stat. This dude averaged 4 yards per attempt every single year. So that don't mean if his production was dropping, that means his yards per attempt will start to drop as far as dipping into the threes, around the 3.5s, stuff like that. He's consistently rushing for 4 yards an attempt, year after year. And his worst yards per attempt was in 2020, where he had 4 yards per attempt. That was the worst season he's had as far as yards per attempt. He's had 5.1, 4.1, 4.7, 4.5, 4.2, which are great stats. Great stats. 5.1 yards per carry is damn near Pro Bowl level production from a running back. Okay, so it's not like he's not producing. He's doing what he can with the amount of attempts that he's getting. Okay, look at this. Last year, he had 237 attempts, and he played all 17 games. He played every single game last season and only had 237 attempts. So, let's take a look at Dak now. And let's look at Dak's numbers. Oh, crap. Sorry. All right. So, Dak. Look at his stats, right? His passing attempts. They go up. 459, 490, 526, 596. He had that year where he missed 11 games. And then another 596 last year. Now, that 2020 season, if we're averaging out his stats and we're taking his 5-game stretch and we're reasonably stretching it out over a 16-game season. This dude was looking to pass, he was on pace to having over 600 pass attempts. 600. And I mean, I went down as far as 35 to 40 pass attempts per game, which would get him up to over 550, somewhere around 550. So, his numbers steadily kept rising as far as pass attempts. And that's because they were passing the ball more. They started utilizing Dak more. That's why Zeke's numbers are dropping, because they're choosing to pass the ball more. They want to pass the ball more. So when we talk about Zeke and his lack of production, there's a reason for it. There are contributing factors to why he's not putting up the numbers that he was putting up early on in his career. And that's why. All right, that's it, man. I'm ready to get this done. I got a headache. All right.